welcome to the Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition here. I'm Pat O'Melia, live in Seaside Heights. Not on the boardwalk today like I was yesterday, which there's pros and cons to that. But today on the boardwalk on Franklin Street stage, where I broadcast from normally, is an arts and craft exhibit where you can buy some arts and crafts, look at the stuff, and they booted me off the boardwalk. So I'm in the garage today, which is okay because yesterday I was broadcasting live out in that blazing sun for, 2 hours on the show, and I had about an hour of setup and an hour of breakdown of the set. And when I did the television version of the Shore Show, this, of course, is radio, I was able to wear my hat. But with the headphones on, I can't wear my hat. So that sun was blazing down on my bald spot, you know what I mean? Well, at least I had my sunscreen on. That stuff worked good. I should get that out of the car. I should give a promotion there for that sunscreen. Because I was out there for quite a while. No sunburn, no nothing. Legs, arms, face, neck. Stuff did good. Today in Seaside, let's get a little up to date on what the weather is here. Presently also tweeting out the show. I had to put the whole set together in the garage. Today in Seaside Heights, as we are speaking right now, it is 76 degrees. The water temperature is 79, so that's pretty good. The wave height is about 1 foot. And your air quality today in Seaside Heights is really good. It's 39 points on the AQI index, so that's fine. You know, last week we had a lot of the Canadian smoke, in Hudson County, where I'm from, Jersey City. We had air quality alerts going on because of the Canadian, they have these fires every year up in Canada. And you get the smoke coming down here, and it screws up our air. I've seen pictures last week on the news in New York City. Pretty smoky in New York City. But today, coming down the Turnpike, down the Parkway, to the Turnpike to the Parkway to Seaside Heights in the Shore, you're looking good. If you're leaving from Jersey City, you can get down here in about hour 15, hour and a half, and you're right on the beach, and the beach is in great shape. Billy Ramboli and his DPW crew down here do an excellent job maintaining that beach. While you're sleeping, they're out there dragging the beach, making sure it's all pristine for you. Boardwalk's in fine shape. Right now, at this hour, 10 o'clock, the boardwalk is starting to wake up. The businesses are open. I was watching it yesterday up on the stage as the businesses start to open, the old-timey photo place, the Beachcomber, Big Hearted John's, Lucky Leo's Candy Shop. All those places are opening up. Coors Ice Cream. I'm sitting in the garage here watching people walk by with all their beach stuff, the little beach chairs going on their back. They're heading up the street. Looks like they're in for a good day on the boardwalk and in the beach, and you will be too. So, listen, you're hearing my voice. Used to be saying, maybe I should go down to Seaside Heights. It looks like it is a beautiful day, and it is. Nice skies. No rain today. Might be a little humid later on today. It's not too bad right now, but it might be a little humid, but you got a nice breeze coming off the ocean. So pack the car, head on down, and it's like Seaside Heights, it fits in anybody's budget. You can come down for a day trip, overnight, weekend, stay for the week. There's accommodations here. But right now, let's break for a commercial. You're listening to the Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back. Pat O'Neill, you here? Sure Show, Seaside Heights edition. I have a plane flying over, one of those advertising planes going by. I finally got my tweet out there. Boy, I tell you, I am dangerous. I put it in draft somehow. I don't know. Like I said, weather's good. Seaside Heights parking, a lot of parking out here, especially leave now. You get down here, you're here before noon if you leave now. Certainly down before noon. And you get up close to the boardwalk, and you're right there on Terrace. There's the municipal parking. There's the private parking lots. A lot of parking. Yeah, and more people walking by here, the garage with their beach chairs. Looking to have a good day on the beach. I should grab minutes and do an interview with these people. Like I said, 76 degrees. Parkway and the Turnpike. Moving, that's good. Temperature 79 degrees. Your water is like a 1-foot waves, so you're in good shape. And I was saying before, with Seaside Heights, there's always something going on. Last night they had Broadway on a boardwalk where they got performance for the Broadway shows here in Seaside Heights, and they're doing, the songs from the Broadway plays. There's always something going on in Seaside Heights. So what you need to do is go to exit82.com, and they'll tell you all the events that are occurring here in Seaside Heights, and they're free. And like I said, as I've been saying, all these Seaside Heights shows that we're doing, Seaside Heights fits into anybody's budget. If you're coming down for a day trip, you're just going to pay for the parking, and your food on the boardwalk, or you can bring food with you, or you're coming in on Route 37, there's a lot of places to eat there. You got the Wendy's, you got the McDonald's, you got the Burger Kings, you got the Tom's River Diner, you got the Bandwagon. There's a multitude of options there. Popeyes, Freddy's. Freddy's isn't bad. We don't have them up in my neck of the woods, Jersey City. Freddy's isn't bad. Steak Burger's got good onion rings. It's actually reasonably priced onion rings. In the world of onion rings, I guess they're reasonably priced. You got a big serving of onion rings there for like $4. That's good. And if you're coming down, if you want to stay the night, the motels are like $85 a night. If you're going to spend the weekend, I'd probably strongly suggest you get one of the efficiencies. This way, when you're coming down, you get into your room, you get out on the road, go to ShopRite, lay in some supplies. But there's only so much you want to eat on the boardwalk. You want your pizza, you want your cheesesteak, you want your sausage and pepper, of course. But you don't want a steady diet of it, and it gets expensive. So you can have your lunch or dinner at home after the efficiencies. Or if you're even staying longer, most of the apartments down here are minimum 5-day rental. Like my daughters, they purchased a house down here in Seaside Heights. They Airbnb the first floor. The family utilizes the top floor. It's minimum 5 nights, but it's an honest apartment also. It's 2 bathrooms, 2 showers, dining room, living room, 2 TVs, Alexa's in there, all the streaming channels, DirecTV. It's a nice, honest apartment, microwave, stoves, full kitchen, all that stuff. And that's a 5-night minimum. But if you're staying down for a week, you really just want to get an apartment here. And it gets kind of expensive. We're one of the more reasonably priced with the kids. But you can go $500-600 a night down here. And you got the Jersey Shore, Snooki's place down here. It's still popular. It's all these years. People always sit in front of the place, taking pictures. You can rent that, but I think that goes like $2,000 a night there. But if you're coming down, you want to strategically plan this because you want to stretch your buck. Like I said, Seaside, you can spend as much as you want down here, that's for sure. But you want to get the bang for your buck. If you're coming down for a week's vacation, strongly recommend getting an Airbnb for the week. For that matter, I got my daughter's thing here. Where is it? On Airbnb for my daughter's rental, I do a self-promotion here. If you go to Airbnb, you put in 414-536-3636. You'll see the daughter's unit. Again, that's 414-536-3636. Or even easier, just go to Airbnb and put in Seaside Heights and say you have 2 dogs, put that in there, and like it's the first apartment that pops up. We're dog-friendly, cat-friendly people here, so you can bring your pets. And it's got a big fenced-in yard the dogs can run around. What you want to do is you get your apartment for the week. Again, like I said, you go to shop right on Fisher Boulevard. You got a Stop and Shop on the way in on 37. You have an Acme right on the border of Seaside Heights, right on the Otley Beach, Seaside Heights border. Lay in your food order. Get everything you need for the week. If you're going to eat on the boardwalk, I say you're going to have your pizza. You're going to go to Beachcomber where the best possible pizza is. The best pizza on the boardwalk is at the Beachcomber. I like to go there and get a pizza and fried calamari. A nice big Diet Coke. Diet Pepsi, actually. No, it's Diet Coke here. So I can keep my girlish figure here. That's the best pizza there, but there's so many food options up there. But, there aren't many healthy food options. I'm actually trying to eat healthy now. The Nutri-Grain bars, whole wheat bread and toast, which really sucks, but okay. The Nutri-Grain bars, I don't mind. The whole wheat, I can live without. Yesterday, went to dinner with the wife. I had a BLT on whole wheat. That eating healthy thing just ain't for me. Give me some pizza and calamari. But you want to load in the food orders. You have your breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever you want to do at the house. And if it's raining at Seaside, it's not a washout. There's so much you can do. Go down Route 37. Talking about stretching your buck, you have Fortune Buffet on Route 37 and St. Catherine Boulevard. Just go straight down Route 37. Go about 7 miles west of Seaside Heights on Route 37. You'll pass RWJ Barnabas's Children's Hospital on the right, and that's St. Catherine's Boulevard. You take the jug handle there. Go across 37, first driveway, you go straight through. You'll see Fortune Buffet, and there's a huge cinema there with all the first-run movies. If it's raining, you'll see the movies. After the movie, go over to Fortune Buffet, and Fortune Buffet is all you can eat for $16. And you can have water, but if you're going to get a soda, that costs you $3. But after that, the sodas are all free also. So if you're going to have a soda with your meal, and I should say meals because you can keep going up, you're in and out of there for like $19. My wife and I go there. The bill is $35 when we're done. $36.86 now. I'm getting the soda. We're getting the sodas with the meal, and it's all you can eat. Now I'd have to count them, but it's like 10 buffet stations, and it goes everywhere from salad to entrees to ice cream to a sushi bar. It's all there, and it's a multitude of foods. You got, of course, the Chinese. You got pepper steak. You got a lot of seafood. If you like seafood, you like Fortune Buffet. A lot of shrimps. You got the crab legs, clams, big, small clams, pizza, French fries, chicken nuggets, chicken on a stick, teriyaki chicken and broccoli, pepper steak. It's all there. Fried rice, lo mein, all that stuff. And if you bring children, it's 80 cents a year. So if your child's 10 years old, you're getting charged $8, and the kids can eat all they want. Large selection of cakes, and jellos, and fruits, and all that stuff, and the ice cream section. And it's incredibly reasonably priced, and the food is good. Again, you serve yourself. You go up there as many times as you want. And as I try to tell people when I'm there, when we're down at Seaside, we try to go to Fortune Buffet. I like to go on Saturdays or Sundays when we're down here. And I tell people when up there, they pile on the food on these plates. Like they can't even maneuver now because there's so much food on the plate. I tell them, you can take 2 plates. So as long as you eat it, you take 2 plates. You can carry it. Instead of piling up, put a mountain of friggin' food on there. Then you got to worry about dropping it. Take 2 plates, people. Work the system here. But it's a great way to stretch your budget there at Fortune Buffet. And if it's raining, like I said, how I got into this, is you go to movies. You got a frozen yogurt. It's a frozen yogurt place right next to the movie theater. There's a pizza place. There's my Jersey Mike's. There's a ton of options. So even if you got a bad weather day, and I think next week, I think there's only one bad weather day. Tomorrow there might be some rain Sunday. I'll look into that during the commercial break. We might have rain tomorrow, so I'll look into that. But there's so many things you can do. But like I said, you want to strategically plan a vacation. And we're coming to the end of the vacation season where when you start coming into the end of August, the kids start going back to school. Like my high school, I teach high school kids. Looks like I'm going to do college kids also this year in the North Bergen studio, studio and radio production. And this year we're putting all new cameras in the studio. We're on hiatus, and every hiatus I upgrade the studio. This year, super upgrades. We're putting together a control van. For that matter, Wednesday we'll be installing these shelves in the control van that the kids will use when they're going to broadcast baseball games, football games, sporting events, that sort of thing. We picked up a Ford Transit Connect that we've been working on, getting it up to par. We're going to put the shelving in Wednesday. And if you're looking to buy a Ford Transit Connect, try not to buy one with the round keys, because these round keys are friggin' expensive. I'm going to have a guy come in Wednesday at the studio to make. I only got one key with this car. And I went to my people up on Kennedy Boulevard in North Bergen, right across from the Dunkin' Donuts by the Coach House. And they do great key work. You want a key done once and right, go right up there. They couldn't do it because it's worn down, and you needed these codes. It's a ridiculous key. And the key opens everything, from the gas cap to the hood. You need the key. So I talked to my friends at Ford. I dealt with J&S Ford, Jersey City Ford, for years to get a key code. Turns out they don't keep the key codes after 10 years, and we got a 2012 Ford Transit Connect, so much for that. So I got another guy that says, yeah, we can do it. $350 to make the key. They're really making a copy, but the key's kind of worn. So I told the guy, you sure about this? Yep. So I was just going to change the ignitions and all the lock tumblers, even though it would be more than $350. It's okay. How much for the second key? $300. Well, that's pretty damn pricey, because I know my buddy was only going to charge me $90 in North Bergen. So I'm going to have this guy make up the one key. I'll pay the $350. So we got to have a spare key. Because the college kids or the high school kids are going to lock the keys in the friggin' vehicle. It's going to happen. So I got to make sure I have a spare. So I'll pay the $350, and I'm going to take that key, which will be nice and pristine, and bring it up to my guy in North Bergen, get another couple of copies. Well, even that, it's still $90 a key, because it's a friggin' round key. Well, you normally have your flat keys. Not this one. It's rounded. It's got all these nooks and crannies on it. So but we got the van this year. We're getting all new cameras. We're getting four new cameras across. We normally shoot four multi-camera shoots, what I teach the kids. If you're looking at like John Heinous' show, that's a multi-camera. Of course, with John, we've got the one camera on him, but when he goes to the interview set, or any of the shows, even Stick Romano, we do Stick Commissioner Romano. That's a multi-camera. When you go to an interview, we got cameras on the guest, we got cameras on the host, we got a third camera of the far shot, and if there's two guests, we got four cameras. So I got two cameras in so far. I'm doing my best to stretch the buck, trying to get as many, the best possible deal. Begging the people at B&H, come on, guys, you got to give me a break on this part. Talk to my buddies over there. They give me a break. So right now I got two cameras. I want to pick up another two before we come back in the production in September. And but we're in a hiatus, teaching my young kids studio production and radio production. And those guys, I got a lot of the kids that help in the studio, cleaning up and rearranging things. The high school kids, they're graduating. They're going off to college. I think this week they got they're in school for indoctrination. Is it? They're getting to learn the lay of the land there. But they've been coming in, pushing furniture around, dusting. Incredible amount of dust in that studio. Yeah, I'm sitting there when I'm doing the shows, the radio, and I look down at the bottom of a tripod or a shelf, and I say, it's so dusty. We've been dusting for like 2 weeks now, and it was still dusty in that place. It's a big, huge studio. It's like 4,000 square foot. And the other thing we're doing, we're putting together a audio and video section where the cameras and microphones, anything related to filming or audio is going to be in one spot. So when a kid's got to go out and do a shoot, grab a couple of cameras, grab the mics, grab speakers, whatever we need, grab radio equipment, boom, 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 put it in this cart, this little cart I purchased. We can roll into the elevator, boom, down to the control van, boop, out onto location. We got our own power source. I do have to find out what I did with my Verizon Wi-Fi hotspot. I don't know what happened there. I misplaced it somewhere, but I will find it. I'm trying to do all these things by myself. I just noticed I almost stopped my own stream here. Hopefully you're hearing me well. But that's that kind of things we do. Like I said, every time in hiatus, we try to upgrade the studio. This one's a lot of major upgrades. Like I said, we're going to do the audio and visual section. For that matter, Amazon just dropped off the shelving I need for all the microphones. We're going to have them all lined up in little microphone shelves. We'll have the cameras laid up there. We'll have switches, everything we need for that matter. This laptop I'm using here, it's not a super power one, but it does exactly what I need for broadcasting on the radio. And so we're going to pick up a few more of these. I want to set up radio stations in the high schools, North Bergen High School, Hoboken High School. So during the course of the school day, these kids can do their shows, whether it's sports, fashion, school reports, whatever they want. I want these kids in my studio at least twice a month, hopefully a little bit more. But even if they're not in my studio, I'll have the radio set up in the high school so these kids can do broadcast there, like I said, whatever they decide. And I'll have kids heading up this radio station that we're putting together. I'm about 6-7 months behind where I want to be with the radio. I had some health issues. I didn't know I had a clogged artery in my heart. I had the flu. My doctor sends me to have a chest x-ray and get the x-rays, and the chest is okay. But he goes, I want to get my knees done. He goes, you want to get the knees done. We should probably do a CAT scan, just be a little more certain. Sure enough, CAT scan comes back having an abnormality. So they found out there's a blockage, so I had to get the blockage done. I get a stent put in there. I feel okay. Problem is I lost a lot of blood from these blood thinners they were giving me. And that put me in the hospital for about 8 days also. My normal blood count was like 16.5. I was down to 4.2. It was like a gunshot victim. I lost so much blood. Well, that's enough of that. Let's make a break for commercial. We'll start getting into some news. We talk some current events with some world news, some global news, some New Jersey news, a lot of news, and we'll talk some more about Seaside Heights. You're listening to the Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition, here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
All right, we're back. Pat O'Melia here on GGR, Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition. Out here in the garage. Hanging Seaside Heights. Looking at the traffic go by. Say, hello, traffic. How you doing, baby? People walking by with their beach chads and all that other good stuff. All right, that's some of the news of the day here. Let's see. Get my notes out. We did the temperature. Our governor, Phil Murphy, just signed a bill that it targets and attacks the energy grid operator here, the electrical grid operator for New Jersey, blaming them for the increase in your electric bill. Now, depending on where you live, the electric bills went up pretty damn high, very high for that matter. There's some people down with JCP&L down here in Ocean County that was saying that their electric bills have gone up from last year was like $67, $76 to this year they're looking at $400. Their rates went up so high. And what Trenton is doing, and it's so disingenuous because it's not the operators, they're blaming the operators for the increases. The problem is Trenton. We went all in on green energy. Oh, let's get some solar power and some wind power. Listen, solar and wind, it may have a place someday as our major contributor to the energy grid, but it's not today. And it probably won't be not in my lifetime. My lifetime, 68 years old. How much more do we got here? Probably not in your lifetime. It may contribute. It will not be the main part of our energy generation. What we need to do is get back to natural gas generating plants, nuclear generating plants, coal generating plants. These are all the things we shut down. In Jersey, I think we shut down about 8 of them. Not only did we shut plants down, we stopped them from coming online. And now here we are with our hands on our butts saying, oh, we don't have enough energy, so we got to buy more energy. We shouldn't be in this situation. We've never been in this situation in Jersey. We had our nuclear plants, we had our coal plants, we had our natural gas-fired plants, and the environmentalists, they got way into Trenton and bought in, and Murphy, with his ideology, he bought into this where we're going to be totally green by 2035. Not going to effing happen by 2035. It was never going to happen by 2035. And here we are paying the price for this now. We're going to pay this price, and it's really no pun intended, but we are paying the price. And you're going to have more rate increases next year. What Murphy and Trenton are trying to do is a distraction here. Actually, they're even giving you $50 back, I understand, on your electric bill. It is $50. We're charging you like $300 more now, but here's $50 for you. Make you happy, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't. We have to get back into energy generation. There was a plant that was going to come online in North Bergen. Predominantly was going to supply New York City, but you got to supply wherever. And it would have helped the township of North Bergen with property taxes. That was nixed. Oh, we can't have that. It's gas. It's natural gas fired. It will destroy the earth. BS. Actually, my generation has done the most cleaning up the earth than any. When I was a kid, I grew up right next to public service, big coal-firing plant. Here I am, still here. So I guess that wasn't a big issue growing up. I literally could have gone out of my house and hit the public service plant with a rock. That's how close I was to it. And technology has moved forward, like the cars. I'm a classic car guy. I like them. My 64 Dodge, it was not a pollution. It's not a clean running pollution car. You know what I mean? The thing, it was killing the environment, those cars back then. It's nothing compared to the cars today. I come from, before I got into media with radio and television, I used to buy, sell, and repair tractor trailers. Trucks are so much cleaner now. They are clean idle certified. They're not these black billowing smokes they were of my childhood. My generation has done a lot of this cleaning up. But even in my youth, where we had the billowing trucks with the black, we had the coal-firing plants, we're here. We all survived it. I don't know if it was that bad. No, is the air better? I know we cleaned up the Hackensack River. As a kid, I was talking yesterday on the show, we used to swim in the Hackensack River. Where fishes wouldn't swim in the Hackensack River, we did as kids. We were stupid, young and dumb. You couldn't see through the water. Now you can. It's amazing what has been transpired there. But again, that was my generation. We have made great strides. Technology has made great strides with the coal burning, energy generating plants, the natural gas. Nuclear had always burned clean, and we're so much more capable with nuclear than we were back in the 70s. We need to embrace this. You don't have to be paying that kind of money. We are paying $400 or $500 a month. That's ridiculous. And everything we have now is electric. If you look back 20 years ago, what you had in your house, what was running on electric, it's night and day. It's compared to what it is today. So that's why, yes, we need electric. And we need it to the point where, we're out there buying in the market because we're not generating it ourselves anymore. And that has to stop. We have to reverse that. Public service got to re-energize their generating plants. We have to bring some on. We could have had one in North Bergen. Could have had another one in Kearney. Now, what we call the old Copper's Cove facility. But that was nixed by the bleeding heart people. You'd have like 20, 30 people out there protesting. How many people in Georgia we got? 9 million? I got 20 or 30. Oh, we don't want to upset them. Oh, we don't want to kill the whales or anything. We weren't killing the whales. That wasn't happening. We were just going to be able to light our house. Like I said, you look at the difference in 20 years. Everything is electric now. Everything's on Wi-Fi. Everything's Bluetooth. I remember years ago when we changed the clocks. You'd have to be like a Russian spy or a bank robber to adjust all the clocks. Everything was manual then. Or you stuck a battery in there. Now everything's running on electric now. Everything's Wi-Fi. It sets its own time. I remember trying to set the time between the microwave and the stove. Trying to get them to both say 12:01. It's not the case. Everything does it on its own now. Alexa runs around and changes everything. It's a different world. Everything we have is run on electric. So we have more electric demand, and we're cutting down, closing energy generating stations. That was the fallacy of Trenton. And now those roosters have come home to roost. And now Trenton is like, oh, well, not us. It's that grid supplier. No, it's not. We're not generating any energy. We're actually closing plants. And it falls on Trenton. We got an election coming up in November. You have to make a decision on who do you want to send back. Do you want to send these people back to Trenton? I got a lot of friends who are up for election. I know a lot of the assembly guys. They do a good job. But, Raj McCorkey, he just signed in on his bill about going after the grid supplier. We know that's not true. That's just a distraction here. And then the $50 on your electric bill, come on. That's where the fault lies. It was a bad plan. It was a bad idea to try to embrace the electric and the clean energy when it wasn't going to be the main supplier. We're closing down reliable energy stations, generating stations, for a hope and poke with the solar and the wind. And to date, guess what? Still ain't working. Still not as far as like maybe 10%. But yet we're closing down reliable energy plants, and we're not building any. So that I'm sure that changes, whether it's Jack Citarelli or Mikey Sherrill, because the realization is this isn't working. The plan we have in place right now is not working. And everybody who bought into this, you got to sit there and hold them accountable to this. You got to say, do I want to send these people back to Trenton? You're the reason I'm in this situation. You. So you got to make a decision. And try. I'm not saying you got to send Republicans there. I'm not saying you got to send somebody who's going to take the initiative about making Jersey affordable. We're not doing that. We keep paying lip service to that, but we're not doing that. It just keeps getting more unaffordable every day. Now, you see that with your electric bill. And this is just bad planning, and it's not like it just snuck up on people. I think we've seen this coming. What happened is that the electric bills went up before Election Day. And listen, Trenton did all they could to stop that. They didn't want that being an issue. As we get closer, I guarantee you those electric bills are going to be an issue. The expense of the state is going to be an issue. If Jack Citarelli's got a half a brain, and I know he does, he's going to pound away on that. Because what's happening is pounding away on your wallet. And that has to change. We could have averted this. We could have averted this problem. But here we are, and it's going to take at least a couple of years to bring these generating plants online and refurbish some of the ones we closed. It's going to at least a couple of years before your energy bills come down. And we shouldn't be in this situation. Getting back to Seaside Heights, when you're on the beach, we just had a young guy in Seaside Heights last week drowned. They went into the ocean after the lifeguards went off duty, and the rip currents were pretty bad. And a group of people went in, got caught up in the rip currents. Most were saved. All but one was saved. And unfortunately, one person drowned Um, just recently, I think yesterday, 14-year-old girl in Belmar. Again, people went into the ocean after the lifeguards went off duty, and a young girl drowned. You need to be very careful. You can't swim. Stay out of the water, first of all. Pay attention to those flags. Even if the lifeguards go off duty, those flags are still up. And if those flags are red, don't go in the ocean. What they're doing at Seaside Heights now, and I don't know if it's going to be legal, to stand any kind of a legal challenge, is if the surf is rough, Mayor Vaz and the Borough Council are going to close the beach so people won't get into the ocean. I don't know if you should be closing the beach. I can see, don't go in the ocean. They're closing the beach, and some people just want to sit on the beach, walk along the beach, holding your girlfriend's hand, that sort of thing. To close the beach, I think you have to permit access to it. Like I said, I don't know if that would handle any legal challenge. But rip currents are a real problem. I was talking before about swimming in the Hackensack River. We did it as kids during the summer. It was a city thing. I grew up right alongside the Hackensack River. We would go down at one time. I remember swimming right near the shore, and I got caught in this rip current. I mean, it's like getting on the fast lane, and it's taking you out. And I was a very strong swimmer. We swam all the time. I swam at school. I swam in the ocean. We went down the shore. I swam in the Hackensack River all the time. I was a very strong swimmer as a kid. If I probably could give me a few weeks, few months maybe, I could probably be a strong swimmer again. I was able to go with the rip current and go to the coastline until I was able to grab onto a rock and stop it. I mean, that current was really, I still remember it, holding on to that rock, and that water was trying to pull me out. And maybe that same summer, maybe the next summer, a friend of mine, Norman, we're all swimming again. We got caught over in the rip current, but here we are swimming again in the Hackensack River. Norman swimming along, and he got caught in a rip current. It was taking him out. And it's amazing how fast this thing moved. You've seen that Norman was, me and a couple other guys, again, we did a lot of swimming back then. So we were pretty strong swimmers. We were able to get to Norman and, again, start swimming to the coast, get to the coastline, and boom, we're all back to safety. None of us ever drowned. The only drowning we had, and it was Norman's brother, by the way, Ray. He was a very strong swimmer also. He would get up on the bridge and jump off the bridge, dive off the bridge into the Hackensack River. And lottery chance, 1,000,001 shot, jumps off the bridge, lands on a boat going under the bridge. And that was it for Ray. And another friend of ours, Eddie Kaczynski, found him 3-4 days later. They were looking for him the whole time. They couldn't find him because a lot of currents and rip currents in the Hackensack River, so it dragged his body around. But pay attention, because those rip currents, they get you. They're going to take you. I could still see Norman. I mean, he was moving at a pretty good pace, and he wasn't swimming. He was just being dragged out with that current. And luckily, we were all able to get him. Probably Norman would have just fought his way out of there anyway, but we got him. If you see those red flags up, don't go in the ocean. Now, what Seaside Heights is doing right now, after the lifeguards go off duty, they're going to have first responders patrolling the beach on their ATVs. And if they close the beach, you got to get off there. They're going to cite you and give you a violation. Some of this, again, I'm not sure that's legal, but that's for another day to determine that a day in court. But first responders, they're making it as safe as possible. Yeah, again, pay attention to those red flags. They're up there for a reason. And one thing I will say, I don't know. I thought the lifeguards were on until 7 o'clock. I was surprised to find out they're done at 5 o'clock. People, I want to just throw this out there, people get out of work at 5 o'clock. They might want to take a quick dip in the ocean there. Maybe you should be at FO7. I don't know if that's going to blow the entire budget by working another 2 hours. Maybe that's the reason they have the guys getting off at 5. We don't have the budget money. But I'm sure if we can't do it this year, then maybe next year we look at it and have these lifeguards stay there till 7 p.m. It would seem to make sense to me. But, what do I know? I just do radio and TV. I don't run a municipality. But I do report on a lot of municipalities on the city show with Hudson County and with the Tom's River show. Tom's River, that's a little version of Jersey City. Whatever's going on in Jersey City eventually happens in Tom's River. For that matter, you take Mayor Phillip down to Tom's River, blindfold him, drop him behind Dan Roderick's desk, and he'll think he's at home because it's all the same issues, just on a smaller scale, and it's kind of a deja vu. It felt like I did this before, because yes, you would have, Steve, because whatever you do in Jersey City, somewhere along the line, they're going to do it in Tom's River. It's just amazing how that works. Talking about Seaside Heights, guys, we're coming to the end of the summer season here, and August, Labor Day is what? Oh, yeah, 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks for Labor Day, the official end of summer. Still a lot of vacation time left, and my favorite time at Seaside Heights before the kids bought the house here. I've been down here since 2009 when we started doing the shore show and the boardwalk. Maria Maruka brought me down here to promote. I was looking for programming, so I was happy to come down here, and we started the shore show up on the Franklin Street stage. My favorite time to be here would be the end of August into September. The kids are back in school. Everything's still open, just less crowded, and it's not as hot as hell. At least usually it is not as hot as hell as it is in like July and the beginning of August. And in October, really it's that ends it in Seaside Heights is Columbus Day. After Columbus Day, it's like someone throws a switch in Seaside Heights and it completely shuts down. That boardwalk, all the stands start closing up, and all the gates come down, and those gates are coming down until April of next year. They do the Columbus Day Festival down here. They do a great job of it. If you're listening to me now, I would get your calendar out, get your phone out, your Google Calendar, and mark the Columbus Day. It starts on the Friday before Columbus Day. The festival goes from the boardwalk. Keep in mind, the boardwalk is open through all this. It goes from the boardwalk on Grant all the way down to Central Avenue, and they got dances, they got bands, they got the food, and they got stands, they got retail stands where you can buy stuff, T-shirts, all that kind of thing. And it's right in front of the church. You can do your church at the same time. Catch your mass, go back out, have some baked ziti. The New Jersey Lottery's got the lottery people there. They got all their swag bags they give you. Yeah, there's a lot of entertaining things going on at the festival. And for that matter, I think my daughter Gina said she was going to make the apartment down here a three-night rental. So if you want to come down, you can rent. I'm sure we're not the only ones that'll be doing that. You can rent a place for the 3 days. The motels will actually, again, you want to get the efficiency. As much as you want to eat all that Italian food, and you want to stretch your buck a little bit. There's a lottery outside. I forgot about that. The raffles, not the lottery, the raffle. If you go on the boardwalk on Seaside, I think there's 3 stands that have the big raffles for the Italian American Club, for the church, Our Lady of Perpetual Help. I think the Lady of Perpetual Help has a Jeep in there right now. For that matter, we had a guest UPS worker was staying in the Airbnb rental here in Seaside, and she said she bought a raffle ticket for the Jeep, and it's a legitimate raffle. I actually seen the winner twice. It wasn't me, but I was on the boardwalk when the person won, and the person got the ticket. All of a sudden, hysterical that she won the Jeep. Both cases, the person. I guess I would be too if I just won a brand new Jeep. She said I bought the raffle. I said, you should probably come down back in October, rent the apartment, and enjoy the festival. She didn't realize it was a whole festival. She just wanted to win the Jeep, so she might come back. But you got the Jeep. I think you got some ski dues. And the other one, I think it's all cash, a 50-50. And they pull those raffles in 10-minute intervals. I think it starts at like 3:40 is the first raffle, 3:50 is the second raffle, 4 o'clock is the Jeep raffle. So you come down Seaside today, get some raffle tickets, hold on to them, don't lose them, put them in your wallet, put them in your Bible or whatever so you don't lose those tickets, and come down here for the Columbus Day Festival. And like I said, they do a great job of it here. There's activity, I think it starts from like 10 in the morning, and it goes on to like midnight. There's dancing, there's bands, you name it, it's going on. And for years, we would stay at the Aztec resort there on the boardwalk, and it would never fail. Whatever room I rented, above me were the Italian dancers. They would bring these dancers in from Italy. And these guys were really good dancers, guys and gals. And the reason being, they practiced a lot. They practiced a lot right above me. I'd hear them dancing around on the floor up there, coming through the ceiling. But like I said, they were really good dancers and for a really good reason. They practiced a lot. So make a point to come on down to Seaside Heights here on the Columbus Day weekend and enjoy the festival. Like I said, I'd be here for all 3 days. That's what we used to do. My mother-in-law, rest her soul, she used to love the festival. She'd sit in her walker chair there and listen to the bands. I got all the old Italian music and just really enjoy herself, eat all the Italian food. And we just have like lunch and breakfast at the efficiency. But it is an enjoyable time. Like I said, right now in Seaside Heights, what is the weather? The weather is 77 degrees right now. Your water temperature is almost 80 degrees, 79. You got waves of 1 foot, and your air quality is quite good. Quite good here in Seaside and quite good in Jersey City also. You're sitting around 90. I'll double check right now, but I think you're sitting around 90. Somebody's texting me. My daughter's got to pick up a car. She's picking up Jimmy at Juan's Auto Repair in North Bergen on Patterson Plank Road, right next to the Basics. It's what's that? The Golf gas station. Juan and Junior worked on a car recently. Had to put a neutral safety switch in and a shifter cable. And Gina gets the car back, and a couple days later, wouldn't start, and something was draining the battery. So the first inclination is these guys just did a neutral safety switch. Maybe there's something with the wiring. And Junior was on vacation when Junior came back. He said, let me check out, find out what's going on here. And also, we didn't have brake lights. So I'm telling Junior, something's up here. The brake lights aren't working. Well, it turns out, Junior called me yesterday. He goes, it's the radio. Now, the Jimmy is 25 years old. So 2000 Jimmy, Gina's first car. She's had it since 2008 or 2009, and she's not giving up on it. And she blew the engine. She rebuilt it. Man, it wasn't a bad idea rebuilding it because you couldn't buy that Jimmy for the price of the engine rebuilding. Like I said, she knew everything else about the car. So I told Juan, disconnect the radio for now so she can use the car. And Gina's ordering a radio from Amazon, a direct fit. Actually, she almost had the original one. But I said, don't you want to get like Bluetooth or something? So she got a radio with the Bluetooth in there. And Juan from Juan's Auto Repair, North Bergen, right on Patterson Plank Road there, right next to the Basics. He'll install a radio probably this week, somewhere along the line. And Gina will have some tunes and have a Bluetooth set up in there and hopefully not drain a battery. But one thing you want to have, see, I got a breakdown bag I carry with me. I take it from car to car, and I have a lot of cars. I have, if you count the tiny van, which is our control van for the high school kids, I have 7 cars. Nobody should have 7 cars. But I have cars in Seaside Heights at the kids' house down there. I got cars at my house in Jersey City. I got cars at the studio in North Bergen, and they all serve a purpose. If I'm running between North Bergen and Jersey City, I'll take my little Chevy, my Chevy Evo. It gets about 35 miles to the gallon. If I'm doing a lot of highway and I don't want to be cramped up in the little car, I'll take the Lincoln. Normally, I'll run around the Lincoln on the weekend. She's a 2007 Lincoln. None of these are brand new cars. I have a 1995 Oldsmobile, the classic. I just look at it as an old car. It's a good car. It's like a time capsule. She only got like 50,000 miles on her. Yeah, she looks like she rolled off the assembly line. A friend of mine sold it to me a couple of years ago. But people always like beep horns at it and point at it. And they're really, it is an old car. It's not like in my 64 Dodge where people give me a thumbs up all the time. I got my little 4-wheel drive for the winter. Actually, I got to put that in the shop when I get some body work done on it. I got the big van that I use. We have 2 daughters. You need a van. They always want to move stuff, and we move stuff at the studio all the time. Am I missing a car? Let me think here. I think that's it. I got them all. And I got a little blue Chevy Evo, a 2004 Chevy Evo that I keep in Seaside Heights, and I only run that around Seaside Heights. But all the cars have a job. All my vehicles have a job, and they do the job well. And I rotate them out occasionally. I'll take the Seaside cars, I'll bring them to Jersey City, North Bergen cars, Seaside, that sort of thing. And I try to disperse the mileage. I do a lot of, even Jersey City and North Bergen. I'm out driving around all the time somewhere, taking pictures of something or on location, filming something or do radio shows. So there's always something going on. But car-wise, and if you add my two daughters' cars into the mix, I got 9 cars. And always some work that has to be done to them. I try to do as much of my own work. I do my own oil changes. I'm very, very about that. For that matter, talking about cars, I'm looking at my 2008 Chevy Evo. I'm coming down to Seaside Thursday night, and a huge rock hits my windshield. Either came out of a pickup truck or a tractor trailer. So now I got to get a windshield for that. I had to get a price on that. That's something I can't do that myself, and you really got to have a knack to put these in. And I'm pretty sure on that windshield, I have the antenna in there, because I don't know where the antenna is on this car, so I think it's in the windshield. And it looks like it's got a ding in there the size of a golf ball. I'll just maybe go by the Safe Light down here in Tom's River. I usually have Bob's Glass on Communipore Avenue. He's been there forever, Bob's Glass. And he always does a good job. Maybe I'll just let Bob do it. The thing is, I'm on the highway so often. Every one of my cars have a chip in it, in the windows, from being on the parkway at the turnpike all the time. And the rocks get in the threads of the tires, and there's nothing going to do about it. You're riding down the highway. Eventually, that rock dislodges from the tire in front of you and, boom, bounces off your windshield. And in the summer, what just recently happened, on my 94 Oldsmobile, the weather was so hot that it melted the glue that held on the rearview mirror. And I'm getting in the car. I just want to start. I haven't used the Oldsmobile in a while. So I jump in the car just to start it and just move it back and forth, make sure the disc brakes are okay, and lubricate all the moving parts in the transmission and all. I get in, and my mirror is hanging down. It's got lights in it, so it's got wires. I said, son of a... So I got to re-glue this thing, but you got to have it at like somewhat of a cool weather to put. You can't put it on with 98 degrees out there, or the glue won't ever dry. So I went down to AutoZone, got the glue, and got some oil. I do my own oil change, so I was there, got my oil, did an oil change on that little black Chevy. Try to keep these cars in good shape. My Oldsmobile, tell you how good I am at keeping cars in good shape. My Oldsmobile's got 360 some odd thousand miles on it. And I start that up, you don't even hear it running. That is one hell of that's a remarkable car. Of all the cars, that and my Kia are remarkable cars. My little Kia Sportage, that 4-wheel drive, that has bailed me and my kids out more times than you could think. It's like a lifeboat. It's a great little car. I use that when I'm running around Jersey City. And in the snow, it is a great car. And where really it earned its stripes with me when Murphy first came to governor, like 8 years ago. We had a storm that came in, and Murphy caught all the hell for this. The highways weren't prepared. They didn't pickle grind anything. They didn't drop any salt. And we were stopped as a state for the whole night. The roads were slippery. I'm leaving the North Bergen studio. I'm trying to get home up to the Heights, and the highways are all backed up. Secaucus Road, cars were sideways. Fire trucks were sideways on the hill getting up to Kennedy Boulevard. I'm trying to come down Tunley Avenue, and I'm in traffic, and I'm like, this isn't going to move. I'm looking up ahead. Cars can't move. This car's wheels are just spinning. So it's time for a little Kia car to show me what you can do. I'm actually driving on what would pass as sidewalks on Tunley Avenue in North Bergen. I get up to the Secaucus Road ramp there. I'm actually on the sidewalk. People, it's like the apocalypse is occurring. They're outside the car. They don't know what to do. They can't get their cars to move. I'm driving up on the sidewalk because the Kia is kind of small. Get out on the street. I'm on Secaucus Road. I'm going up, and I'm looking at the hill of Secaucus Road, and I'm telling you, there's a fire truck with sideways. Everything is sideways. You can't make it up the hill. It's a sheet of ice. And in this part of North Bergen, it says, don't make a left turn here. So, well, I'm going to make a left turn, and I'm going to go up that other hill. I'll sort it out with Nick Sacco, the mayor, if I get in trouble. Take the Kia, make the illegal left-hand turn, make the right, going straight up the hill. That little car's in 4-wheel drive. Like, come on, Kia. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Got me up to that top of that hill. I knew I was home at that point. Got up to the Heights, Kennedy Boulevard, parked in front of the house. I was home safe. That car got me home. And as many times as the kids have a problem with their cars, they'll use the little Kia. But I use the Kia as often as possible. But in bad weather, that car has bailed me out numerous times. And that night, when the state didn't do anything with the highways, that car got me home. And if you know the hills in North Bergen, those are pretty damn steep hills. That car got me home. But also, special shout out to John Shaw, Nick Sacco, and the group from North Bergen DPW. They take care of the hills there. They're out there sanding it. One of the big reasons I was able to get up that hill. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're listening to the Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
All right, I'm back. Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition. Pat O'Melia here. Broadcasting from the garage in Seaside Heights. They have an arts and crafts exhibit there on the Franklin Street stage on the boardwalk, so I can't be there today. The game plan is to have me up there every Friday and Saturday promoting tourism with our new radio travel set here. My only problem is I got to break this thing down and bring it up and then break it, set it up, then break it down, bring it back. You can't leave it up there. And with two bad knees, that was really a challenging situation yesterday. So I got to really streamline this. But if you have two good knees, you're in good shape here. You would not have a problem. But two bad knees like me, that's a problem. There really isn't a lot I'm bringing up. I got the laptop for the streaming. I got my mixer here for the mics and the commercials and all the other stuff I'm doing. I got my surge with all my plugs. I'm plugged in here in the garage. Up on the stage, we have an outlet. And last year, I put broadband on the stage in Seaside Heights so I could broadcast our shows, streaming it. On our control van, we're going to have everything set up in there. We got a portable power source in case there is an electric where we're going, and we have a Wi-Fi hotspot, which I need to find out where the hell it is. I think I might have it in my big van in the doghouse area. The van's at the North Bergen studio, so I'll have to ride over there and take a laugh. I'm not going to use it anyway. I'll wait till Monday to go get it. But when the kids are doing a show, they're calling balls and strikes in the baseball game, football, whatever they're doing. They use the mobile hotspot, tie in the laptop, get the switcher all set up. They'll have the exact same up. I got my little folding table here, and it's the same setup the kids will use in the school or even out on the road. Just that they won't. I just used my notes here. They won't have to go through all the same steps that I'm taking right here. It would all be all set up what we're doing in the high school. They just have to go in, turn on the laptop and the switcher and the audio switcher, and off they go. Now, we did the Columbus Day. By the way, you football fans, I tell you, summer's going by too quick. Football season's already here. We're working on a new jersey line. Got to take a look at what the jersey line will look this year. If you don't know what Jersey Line is, I have a piece that we do where I do the football picks each week versus the spread, the FanDuel spread. And this year we're throwing a little kicker in there. Artificial intelligence will also be doing picks. I'll do my picks, and artificial intelligence will be doing picks. That's the chat GPT, is it? You know, we've set it up with the AI that it will be doing football picks. So when you're looking at Jersey Line, you'll see my picks, and you'll see the artificial intelligence picks, and we'll see who's better at this. And artificial intelligence, it can survey all the routes, the rosters, injuries, all the statistics, much faster than a human can. So it'll be interesting to see how well artificial intelligence does against a human here. Now, for the last, I don't think I ever had a losing season. I had some really good seasons. I had some where, I was on a plus side, but not tremendously. I think last year, I'd have to double check. I think for the season, I was up 9 games. What made it very difficult last year with Jersey Line was the first 2-3 weeks. It was almost like that was a preseason. Teams just weren't ready to play. And you're going through the talent and the quarterbacks and the running backs and the defenses. You're really working with last year's statistics. But you got basically the same players, but they're not up to the same speed as they were last year. So they weren't playing up to their career stats. So those first 2-3 weeks, I was taking a beating, and it took me a long time to climb out of that hole. So hopefully this year I do a little bit better job. I'm really starting to get into it now. I'm watching the games, trying to get the handle on the new players. I know the Jackson Dart, he's starting for the Giants tonight. That's the what did you choose him? Was he 25th pick? Yeah, I tell you what, I seen him throw the other day, and not the other day, last week in the game. This kid's got an arm. I mean, he's aptly named Dart because he was throwing some darts. Russell Wilson, I believe, will be the starter. I'm not all sold on him. It's amazing how New York got both of the rejected quarterbacks in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh wound up with Aaron Rodgers from the Jets. Justin Fields is starting for the Jets now. Russell Wilson will be starting for the Giants, and Aaron is in Pittsburgh. I think Aaron's going to have a very good year in Pittsburgh. I think Aaron had a good year with the Jets. We just didn't appreciate it. Here he's going to have a good defense. He's got good wide receivers. They need to do something with the running game, which is really hard to say with the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they normally always have a good running game, but they don't have one right now. But tonight, you got the Giants and the Jets. I used to go see them at the Meadowlands all the time. Last time I seen them play in the Meadowlands, the Giants Jets, Jason Sehorn blew out his knee. And the halftime entertainment was this group, Destiny's Child. They were the halftime entertainment at a preschool game, preseason game. Beyonce and Destiny's Child. It's got to be, 20 years ago that was. That ruined the season there with Jason Sehorn. Blew out his knee. But the Jets and Giants tonight, 7 o'clock. For all us football fans, we enjoy this sort of thing. I know I enjoy it quite immensely. Again, the temperature down here right now is still at 79 degrees. It is really nice. It's like a little breeze here. I do have a fan on behind me. People. It looks like people are going up to the boardwalk. They're walking by here with their beaches. Like I said, I'm broadcasting out of the garage. Got their beach chairs strapped to their backs. They got their little carts with all their beach accoutrements. Larry, you can't bring anything you want anymore on the beaches. They got the rules and regulations onto cooler sizes and all that stuff. There's only so many things you can bring, especially if you're trying to bring a beach umbrella. There's some more people walking by with some beach chairs. Be very careful that it's not a sharp end on it. Some people have been impaled with these things, but there are some rules and regulations. Best thing to do to learn all these rules and regulations is go to exit82.com. You'll see all the rules and regulations as to what you can bring and what you can't bring on the beach. Also, you'll see all the events that they have slated for the season here in Seaside Heights. And like I said, all these things are free. But I don't think they had anything this year that you had to pay for. Like I said last night, they had Broadway on the boardwalk, big crowd up there. They have the concerts on the beach. You got the fireworks every Wednesday night down here. You got movies on the beach. So there's always something going on. So go to exit82.com. Get yourself up to gear on whatever's going up to speed, I should say. What's going on in Seaside Heights. And again, the air quality is good. The weather is good. The temperature of the water is like 79, 80 degrees. The beach is nice and clean. The Billy Ramboli and his crew drags that every morning, so it's all set nice and pristine for you to go lay on. So you're all set here in Seaside Heights. The only thing that's missing here in Seaside Heights is you. So get in that car. Get down here. Like I said, if you're in Jersey City, you'll be here an hour and a half. And actually, the fuel went down, which, of course, I filled up the car Thursday night, and I just noticed last night that the fuel went down 7 cents a gallon. I don't know what the big drop was. I paid $3.05 down here in Tom's River when I get down, and now it's I think it's $2.97. So of course I filled up, but I do got to fill up the little blue car where I'm down here. So I'll get that done later. But the price of fuel went down. What they should do to help tourism, maybe one of the things I'll bring up to Raj McCurkey and Brian Stack and Angela McKnight, my state senators, on the weekends, if we can automatically drop at least the prices, the tolls on the parkway coming down to the shore areas. So that keeps going up too. But on the weekends, can we give the people a friggin' break? You kill them during the week with these tolls as it is. And the tolls and the traffic. If anybody wonders why we need to widen the turnpike, be on the turnpike in the morning, and you'll see why. Jersey City got some of the biggest, again, same people would be bitching about energy generating plants, about the widening project on the turnpike. It is definitely needed. Commerce has to move through. The more you keep ordering from Amazon and Mayfair and Walmart and all these places, things changed so much since the pandemic. Routine, who goes out and shops anymore? Everything's Amazon. It's not even a second thought now. It's the first thought. It's Amazon. All that's being moved by truck. Turnpike is especially getting to the ports. I was just talking to a guy who's with Mecca Transportation on how long it's taken them to get into the ports. You have to widen that. And the people in Jersey City, these bleeding hearts, it's just going to create more traffic going to Jersey City. It's not just being widened to go to Jersey City, people. It's going widen north and south. Yes, can people get to Jersey City? I assume so, because we're going to replace the bridge at 14, the A, B, and C. Yes, that bridge is going to replace. It should have never been built. It was built bad. I've never driven over that bridge without it being under repair. And I've been driving over that bridge a good 50-some-odd years. When they built that, people were sticking money in their pockets. They used the worst possible material. We need the widening. But the Jersey City, they'll just bring more traffic on the Holland Tunnel. It's not just being widened to go to the Holland Tunnel, people. It's going north and south. Yeah. Some people shouldn't live in the city. Bike lanes. You want to see the most ridiculous, stupid, comical bike lane? I'm talking to people here in Tom's River, Seaside Heights, that sort of. Well, it's state really with the streaming. If you're from Jersey City, remember 5 Corners. Well, Mayor Fulop and his infrastructure gang put some bike lanes from 139 to 5 Corners. And it's the most ridiculous looking bike lanes. It is a traffic-inducing bike lane. And when we come back on the production of the City Show, I got to take a picture of this. It is so stupid, it's comical. And it's so dangerous looking. And it's so squeezing the traffic. For that matter, I was watching an ambulance trying to get through there Thursday night when I was coming back from the commissioners meeting. I'm like, jeez, what are we thinking in this city? Why does everybody need a bike lane? I rode bikes for years when I was a kid. I never had a bike lane. Made it home every night. It's these snowflakes we have that have to have the bike lane. I don't know. There are parts of the city now are fighting back. I know up in the northern end of the southern end of the city, up on MLK and Ocean Avenue, they're fighting back with the idea of proposed bike lanes. They don't want them there. They don't want to make one-way streets. We've completely screwed up trying to get through Jersey City. For that matter, Jersey City was just declared the hardest city in the nation to work in. The commute time to Jersey City was 37 minutes. This is in Jersey City, mind you. To go from one end of the city to the other will take over 37 minutes. It shouldn't be that way. If I'm leaving my studio in North Bergen to go to City Hall, it'll take me almost the same amount of time to go from Jersey City to Seaside, because we've put in these traffic-inducing bike lanes that nobody uses, these Vision Zeros that make absolutely no sense. Yeah, they put these bump outs, and they narrowed the width of the road by 6 feet. Yeah, they bumped out about 3 foot. If that 6 feet means the difference between your life and death of you crossing a street, then you probably shouldn't be crossing a street. Yeah, I spent my entire life crossing the streets of Jersey City. That extra 6 feet isn't going to make a difference. Now, I don't know what we're going to do when we start snow plowing with these bump outs. That should be interesting. But yeah, and then we got these speed bumps, and when they first came out, I called them Steve bumps. They were so friggin' high, it was like, it's like climbing a mountain. At a point, we had to get the city to come back and grind them down, and they're still there. You know, I can see you want to put them by schools, okay? Well, we got them everywhere. Just traffic inducing. Yeah, now they're talking about doing away with right on red. Statistically, right on red isn't an issue. It's making left turns that are an issue. Really, what the issue isn't so much making the left turn. It's the newer cars with the crumble zones. For accidents, the crumble zone. And it's the A-pillar. What is the A-pillar? The A-pillar is the point of your car that's between the windshield and the driver's side or passenger side window. That's the A-pillar. And as they keep improving the crumble zone, these A-pillars keep getting wider and wider. On my little Chevys, they are incredibly wide. But they're small, and they're trying to design these cars that can survive impact. You look at the crumble zone on my Oldsmobile, far different. A-pillar, far different thickness. What happens when you're making a left turn and somebody's in the crosswalk or they're walking in there? And this just happened to me earlier this week. I think I was coming down Griffith Street going on to Central Avenue. I'm making a left, and as I'm making the left, I came to the stop and I'm making a left. This guy walks out, and he basically hid in my A-pillar. You know, it's like, right now I can cover the front of the car across the street with my thumb, but of course if I walk further, I can't cover it. The perception changes. People get hidden in a A-pillar. So when you're making a left turn, especially with these newer cars, you almost have to look around the A-pillar to make sure there's nobody in the crosswalk. Because as you get closer, that person will appear, but as the distance at a certain amount of footage, that person can hide in that A-pillar. Not purposely, but they can. So that's why it's more dangerous to make a left than it is a right-hand turn. But we created all these traffic-inducing situations in Jersey City. And the bike lanes are the most ridiculous ones because nobody uses them. They're just not utilized. And I know, full up in the infrastructure team, they were patting themselves on the back. Oh, we put a bike lane in here that nobody uses. Then you got the more ridiculous ones, the protected bike lanes, where you have the sidewalk, bike lane, then we park the cars along the bike lane. Problem with that, and that's why they're pulling them out in New York. Kid getting off a bus, school bus, any bus out of a car, trying to get to the sidewalk. He's cutting through the parked cars, steps out, and he gets hit by somebody on a bike. It's happened, even though there aren't many people on bikes there. And the other thing is, there aren't any people on bikes, period. Most of these things are e-bikes now. But the protected bike lanes, either way you want to look at it, whether you're protected with the parked cars that are dangerous, or the rubber boulder rods, those rubber or plastic things, they're not protecting anyone. But it gets back to what I said before. I rode all around the city, my friends and I. Everywhere through Jersey City. We used to take trips to Kearney and North Arlington or Bayonne, whatever the case was. We were cruising around on our bikes until we got in the cars at a very early age, where most people waited till 17. We didn't wait quite that long. I had my first car, I was 13. All of us had our first cars when we were 13 back in the 70s. Cars with 2 different license plates, all that. It was a different world. But we rode all around the city. We never had an issue. And actually, we rode against traffic. You had eye contact with the person. We seen each other. He knew where you were. You knew where he was. We should probably do that again. I don't think we need bike lanes. I certainly don't think we need the protected ones. I don't think we need special ones. It's just too much. And it's such a minute amount of people who actually even use bikes as a mode of transportation, daily transportation. Thing with bikes, it's not a 24/7, 365 mode of transportation. You're not riding the bikes if it's raining out. You're not riding if it's snowing. You're not riding them after it's snowed and it's ice on the ground. You're not riding them when it's friggin' cold out there or with 98 degrees. It's not 24/7, 365 mode of transportation. But if you insist on this, then if I'm sharing the road with you, then you have to share the same conditions of the road and the requirements of the road. And that's an operator's license, that's registration, and that's insurance. You on that e-bike can cause an accident. If you're on that e-bike, you have to have insurance to pay for my car if you cause that accident. You have to pay for the person you hit if you cause that accident. Now, people, every time we talk about getting a licensing or a license operator's certificate for a bike, well, we got to send a 6-year-old in? Well, maybe we keep the 6-year-olds off the street. They shouldn't be in the street in the first place. Even though if I probably think about it, I was probably one of those 6-year-olds riding in the streets, but they shouldn't be there. But if necessary, yes, we can have a driver's test, coloring book driver's test for the 6-year-old. But if you're going to be on that road and you're going to share the road with me, then you got to share the responsibilities and the requirements of that road. That means you got to get a license plate. You got to get insurance. You got to get an operator's license. Maybe at least something says that you actually studied what the rules of the road are, and what a one-way street is, and what a red light means. All right, let's break for commercial, and then we talk a little Putin and Trump. When we get back, you listen to the Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
All right, we're back. Pat O'Melia here on GGR. Actually, listen to myself. Alexa, stop. Listen to myself on Alexa there. Make sure everything was working okay. And it is. So all is fine. Just had a sneeze. Actually, I'm working in the garage area, and the pollen count, I think, is high today. I know my eyes were a little watery this morning. Big news globally. President Trump met with President Putin of Russia in an effort to first get a ceasefire in Ukraine and Russia, and then second, of course, to end the war. First observation, for a guy that was supposed to be dying of cancer or whatever the hell it was Putin is supposed to be dying of, it looked pretty spry to me. It came right down. It came down a step better than Trump. Now, he had wider steps and a better incline on his steps than the one that Trump used. But he's walking pretty good, looked pretty spry, looked healthy to me. That's why, again, with the media we have, I just don't know if we get the proper information from these guys anymore. It's so slanted. they're telling me this guy's dying. Well, this war will be over because Putin's going to die. He ain't dying anytime soon. But they met for 3 hours yesterday. And, yeah, you got to give Trump credit where credit's due. The guy's made a lot of deals in his life, and he seemed to avert a lot of wars this year. What's he been, president for what, 8 months? I think he's settled like 5 wars globally, maybe more. He's got Iran backed in the corner. They're not talking about death to America anymore. They're very quiet. If he did anything, I didn't forget the 444 days where Iran took the hostages that time, so I'm okay with Iran putting their place there. You have peace in the Middle East right now, which is very unusual. And Israel's talking about Gaza, and they're going to take over Gaza. We'll see how it all goes. There's always something going on in the Middle East. But if there's something that's going to blow up there, Trump will get involved. If he's probably going to win a Nobel Prize. For that matter, I think Hillary Clinton just said if he could get peace in Russia and Ukraine, she would nominate him for a Nobel Prize. Can you imagine the Democrats right now if Trump won a Nobel Prize? Mine, heads would explode. They couldn't deal with this. But getting back to the Putin, if you met for 3 hours, something positive must come out of it. These two guys seem like they have some appreciation for each other. They're comfortable around each other. So right off the bat, that helps negotiation. There are some people say, well, he didn't come out with a ceasefire, so there was nothing to really report about this. There was no progress. Nothing positive came out of this. You don't know. For that matter, even pre-negotiation, we're asking Trump all these questions. He can't lay out his cards here. Come on, he tried to go in there and make a negotiation. Now, Zelensky spoke to Zelensky yesterday. I think Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, is coming into D.C. on Monday, which will be a lot safer for him because Trump's been cracking down on crime in D.C., which is another thing that's driving the Democrats crazy, that Trump is taking on crime firsthand. Yeah, I don't know how you win that argument from the Democratic Party. Yeah, I seen the statistics now. We all see them. Yeah, they're the crime situation in D.C., the nation's capital. Well, it's a tourist attraction, but it's the nation's capital. Every foreign dignity is coming into there. Every foreign dignity is coming in there. It has to be safe, not just for the foreigners, but for the people that live there. Every interview I've seen with the people that live there have a problem. There's one councilwoman, she was talking about there's no need for a Trump, that crime is coming down. It doesn't look like it's coming down. But her husband owns a restaurant there, and he's talking about how the crime is a problem. It's a problem for the business. That makes for a good pillow talk, right? I applaud this guy for getting involved in this thing. Listen, crime is out of hand. The police need some help. We got the National Guard and the troops. Let's use them. We're paying for them anyway. Let's send them in there. Let's get the guns off the street. Lock up the gangbangers. Some idiot guy. ICE is making some checks, the checkpoints, and this guy from the Department of Justice, he's yelling at these guys for doing their job. Remember, whatever your opinion is on immigration, it is all laws, and these officers from ICE are charged with enforcing our laws. Your mayor's in charge with enforcing the laws of the Constitution in this country. They put their hand on a Bible. Your governor, your state senators, your assembly people, they swear to uphold the laws of this country. And when we don't do that, we can't pick and choose our laws. We have to enforce them. Now, if you want to change the laws, fine, do it. You want to change immigration laws? Fine, do it. But nobody does. Whether it's the Republicans in power or the Democrats are in power, nobody changes it. So you have to enforce the law. What happened under Biden, where he let in like 11 or 12 or 16 million people, we absorbed the equivalent of 2 New Jerseys That's not sustainable. ICE has to enforce the law, and that's to deport these people. I don't know if Trump will even get to the numbers of Obama with deporting people, but they're working on it. And, he's concentrating on gangbangers and criminals, but he's also getting, just the run-of-the-mill illegal immigrants. And the word is illegal immigrants. They snuck in here. They crossed the border illegally. That's not how you come here. We have people patient. I have a relative in Luxembourg. Why something? From what I understand of Luxembourg and what I've seen, I think I'd want to stay in Luxembourg. But she wants to come here. She got married, and she wants to be with her husband. Her husband's a doctor here. She's patiently waiting, jumping through all the hoops. Those are a lot of people waiting patiently to migrate here legally. And you just can't change that. Now, if you want to change the rules, fine. You want to make them simpler, fine. But you have to do that legally. And if these people are not coming here legally, then they have to go back. So some idiot with the Department of Justice, who sounds like he was all drunked up, was getting himself a sandwich. It might have been smoked up, potted up, whatever. Is at a Subway, and he gets into it, yelling at some ICE guys, and throws his Subway footlong at the ICE guy. He didn't even bite into it. It's so tightly wrapped. And starts running away. And he wasn't a very good sprinter, but they tracked his ass right down, lock him up, and find out he works for the Department of Justice. Well, he used to. He was fired immediately. He was arrested, and then he was let go. And then he was arrested again on felony charges for assaulting a law officer. So this guy's in deep, you-know-what. But I met a Janine Pirro, who is, I think she's the Attorney General for D.C. She's going to fry this guy. You could see it just in her eyes. Never mind what she said. She's going to fry this guy. Yeah, how stupid do you want to be? First off, you just got the friggin' sandwich. At least eat half of it before you throw it at the guy. Why are you going to spend like $14 to throw your sandwich at this guy? And you work for the Department of Justice. You dumbass. You know what's right and wrong. You know what's legal and not legal. You know when you threw the sandwich, you just put in your resignation. That I'm resigning and I would like to get a jail cell, please. But that's where you're going. How stupid these people are. We're getting back to Putin. Zelensky's going to come in, I think, Monday. And Putin doesn't want to give up land that they've now occupied through this 3-year war. And Zelensky doesn't want to give them the land that they've occupied through the 3-year war. So somehow another common ground has to be found. And if it's not land, then it's money. Now, I'm not an economist, but I understand from watching the shows and reading everything, Russia's economy is very unstable right now. The ruble, I think it is, could almost become junk status. He could use some financial assistance. America, they're now supplying oil. They're basically telling the European nation, don't buy oil from Russia. Russia's talking to China and Korea about getting money. If you're going to settle this war now, money might be the way to settle it. What do? I'm not sure. I'm not the finance guy. But there's something we can do to help Russia's economy. Or what might happen is we put some sanctions on them, financial sanctions that will actually put Russia's economy into a complete tailspin. That's where I think Trump's angle is going to be. We'll help your economy. You got to get the hell out of Ukraine. And I just don't. And if I'm Zelensky and if you got Russia back and your economy is in that kind of shape, and I think China's probably sitting back saying, you better keep an eye on this here. I don't want to get into another contest here with the United States. We just went through the tariff thing. They might back off. If I'm Zelensky, I want the Crimea back. And that was annexed by Russia back under the Obama administration. Yeah, I'm going to ask for everything. I just don't see Zelensky giving up any of the Ukraine land, and that includes Crimea. So it's going to be a tough negotiation. But if it's not land, then it's money. So we'll see how this plays out. You need finances. You need some help with the economy. That the United States or the European nations can assist Russia in. But somewhere along the line, there's got to be something that's done about the people who started the war. There's got to be some repercussions. Millions of lives are lost, and we just can't turn around and say, "Oh, that's it. Here's some money, and you get your land back, and we'll see you when Trump's not the president anymore." But one of the things Putin said, this war would have never happened if Trump was the president. Not good for Biden there, but I probably believe that. And as I said before, Trump has been handling these war crises all over the globe, left and right. You should probably try handling the war crisis he has with the Democrats here, because that's one of the problems we have in this country. The campaign never stops. And I was laughing about some of this as the Trump derangement syndrome. I believe there is one now, especially when it comes to the Democrats. And the whole idea is making this nation stronger. I don't know if I want to go say make it great again, Magna, that sort of thing. I'm more of a mercenary. I voted for Clinton. I voted for Reagan. I think you're the best person for the job. The whole thing is for this country to be successful. Battling the president daily. If he says the sky is blue and you say it's purple, that's not helping. Having people, Mikey Sherrill says, "I'll fight Trump every day if I'm the governor." That's not helping New Jersey. That's not helping anything. What you're doing is dividing the nation. We want the nation to be successful. I need Trump to be successful. Do I need to agree with Trump every step of the way? No. I'm married 47 years. I don't agree with my wife on everything. You're never going to have a president or a mayor, mayor and president, probably two toughest jobs. You're never going to have one of those where you agree with everything they do 100%. I've known Steve Fulop in Jersey City since he showed up in, 2002, 2003, on the steps of City Hall to run against then Congressman Bob Menendez. I get along with him well. Generations of difference between us age-wise. I got like 25 years on him or so. We're going to be hanging out together now, but professionally we have a good relationship. I'll call him a friend. If I needed something, I could get a favor out of Steve Fulop. I don't agree with everything Steve does, as you heard me before with the bike lane. He's done a lot of good in Jersey City. There's some things that I would have done differently. But as I said, nobody gets the whole loaf. Nobody agrees with everything a president or a mayor does. Like the tariffs, from what I could see, is bringing in money with this. That can't be bad. He's bringing billions and billions of dollars in investments. That can't be bad. If you listen to the Dems, it's terrible. He's fighting crime. That can't be bad. This is Dems. Crime is good, I guess. Immigration, he stopped the border crossings, and he's getting after people that shouldn't be here. That's the law. Shouldn't be bad. Democrat, it's bad. All right, take a break. You're listening to the Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition, here in beautiful Seaside Heights. It's like 79 degrees. The water's about the same, 79 degrees. The air quality is good. Come on down. We're going to break for commercial. Be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
All right, we're back. Listen to the Shore Show here, Seaside Heights edition on GGR Radio. I'm Pat O'Melia. Again, as I said before, beautiful day in Seaside. The sun is out, 79 degrees. The water is about the same temperature in the ocean. Boardwalk is completely open. Beach is pristine. You should be riding down. You should be listening to me in your car right now. Saying, I'm riding down. Pat said to go. Or if you're thinking, what am I going to do? I got a week's vacation left. What should I do? Should I go to Seaside? I think you should go to Seaside. Come down here at the end of August. Like I said, a lot of kids are gone. Everything's open. All the stands are open. Beach is open. Of course, the ocean is open. Come down here. You can rent Airbnb. Actually, we give my kids Airbnb out again. Might as well self-promote here, right? Airbnb. You go to Airbnb and you put in 414-53636. That's 414-53636. You'll see the kids' unit. You can rent that. It's a minimum of 5 nights. Then you got the big Columbus Day Festival. We'll change that, I think, to a minimum of 3 nights. But you got that week's vacation, end of August. Come on down, beginning of September for the big Labor Day weekend. Ideal time to come down. The weather's not scorching. Everything's up. Everything's open. You got the Carousel House. Forgot the Carousel House to talk to you about. That's a completely new building with the renovated carousel. The carousel goes back to like the early 1900s. Took the town about 3-4 years to renovate it. There's some guy, I think it was in Ohio or Pennsylvania, where they restore carousel horses and carousels. But they got that as pristine. You got the big carousel house right there on the northern end of the boardwalk. You can take some pictures, which seems to be the only thing you do on a carousel. You ride around in a circle and take pictures of your loved ones. You can do that. You got all the stand. You got a Mr. Softy stand on the boardwalk here in Seaside Heights. No truck needed. You got Mr. Softy on the stand, on the boardwalk. You got their own stand. You got a nice Mr. Softy. You got a nice banana boat. I used to like them. Well, I'm the size I am now. Some banana boats when I was a kid. You got all the pizza. You got Dante's. He's down on the northern end now. He was over there by the middle, by the Aztec for years and years and years. But the Casino Pier wanted that space. So he moved down. You got the Berkeley Sweet Shop down on the northern end of the boardwalk. You got the Sky Ride. You could ride along the top of Seaside Heights here and see the sights. And also, you know, if you're thinking of retiring or moving, there are a lot of options here in Seaside Heights. The real estate market has exploded. Every time I see the price, like the kids, they bought the house here back in, I think it was 2017. Boy, did they buy it at the right time. Dad was saying get into real estate. Boy, Dad did so good there. Forget about all the other stuff Dad did. Just getting them to buy the house at Seaside is a huge thing. They got the house at Jersey City also. This thing's went up like 5-fold down here. There's a lot of new development here in Seaside. It's very much like Jersey City. Just that here, they only have one blueprint. In Jersey City, we talk about cookie cutters, but they kind of look alike. In Seaside Heights, they are alike. You get drunked up, going like the Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, if you remember when he was young and dumb. He got all drunked up and walked into the wrong house and went to sleep. That'll happen here in Seaside Heights because every house they build is the exact same house. They all look alike here. They have one set of blueprints, but they are building them left and right down here in Seaside Heights. They've closed, I think by the end of this year, there's some motels up on Terrace, the first block off the boardwalk, that are on their last year, and they're going to be a part of a big redevelopment, 135-room K. Hovanier hotel. By the end of this season, we have lost probably about 28 motels, and most of them became one-family homes, huge one-family homes that are for sale. I check these things on Zillow all the time because Zillow sends me things all the time. They're going for $1 million. For that, I was talking to my kids. They got a big piece of property down here. You could put I would build a 2-family house. If you're a young couple, I don't know how you buy a house now. You got to have a second revenue coming in. You know, all these homes they're building in Seaside Heights out up for sale, and if you're looking to move, yeah, it's a fine little borough here. You could use more here. There's some things you can't get a haircut, you can't get gasoline, you can't get your car repaired. There's a lot of you can't do here because it's really not a 24/7, 365 community. Mayor Boz is working that way, but there's a lot that needs to be done. It was that way in Seaside Heights. If you go on to YouTube, Chris Voss is kind of he's the town's BA, business administrator, but he's kind of the town historian, and he did a nice YouTube piece about 20 minutes long about 10 years ago where you see Seaside Heights then and now. It's on YouTube. And you can see at one time Seaside Heights was 24/7. It had restaurants, it had supermarkets, it had pharmacies, it had auto repair places, gas stations. It had everything any other town had. Then somebody decided we're going all in on tourism, and they did. And things changed here. There are some things we lack. And hopefully that'll change with the development on the boardwalk, development on the boulevard down here. That'll change. It would be nice if you could go up and get a haircut. It'd be nice if I could go up and get a food order, that sort of thing. But those things are changing. It was that way at one time, and it looks like it will go that way again. But if you're looking to open a business, all the development on the boardwalk, I keep saying boardwalk, on the boulevard, has ground floor retail. So there are business opportunities, but I caution you, after Columbus Day, is that somebody shuts off the faucet, and this place comes grinding to a halt. You got to try to make you a buck in the five months. And I also stress the further you get away from that boardwalk, the less successful you may be. But that may be changing. I don't know how long it will change for this town to become 24/7, 365. But it ain't there yet. But there's pros and cons to that also. If you want peace and quiet after October, after Columbus Day, that should be the town motto here, peace and quiet. But there are a lot of opportunities. There's homes for sale. There's new homes, old homes, empty lots. There is opportunities down here. It was better price-wise about 5-6 years ago. Like I said, my kids down here were buying this house, two-family house, 5,000 square feet of land, 2-car garage. They got a really good price back then. Like I said, it went up fivefold. This house down here is worth as much as the Jersey City house now, which also bewilders me. But that's a credit to Steve Fulop, what he's done over the last 12 years. Jersey City got expensive, but if you're a homeowner, you're sitting on a friggin' golden egg there. The house in Jersey City is probably worth $1.25 million. It's a 3-family home, and I look at it, it's a nice home, and I scratch my head, how the hell is this worth it? But that's how the property values are in Jersey City, and that's why they're getting expensive. And we keep talking about affordability. I don't know how affordability comes about if you have electric bills that are $500 a month now. And the taxes in Jersey City, it's a problem we have is with the school taxes. One of the things, we have a governor's race coming up. You've got to get some real defined answers from Mikey Sherrill and Jack Citarelli on how the hell they're going to handle school funding, because that is the biggest part of your bill. Like I said, I'm a Jersey City guy. We have a school budget over $1 billion with a B dollars. That's crushing Jersey City right now. It's costing about $36,000 a year to teach a kid in Jersey City, where Toms River, which is an hour away from Jersey City on the Parkway, adjacent to Seaside Heights here, it's like $18,000 to teach a kid. Why the hell is it twice as much in Jersey City? Not the rent. The buildings are free, the public schools. It's not the taxes. They don't pay taxes. Now, the insurance, that's something the state's got to, that's something Jack Citarelli also's got to, and Mickey Sherrill's got to answer. What are you going to do about the state benefits package that just jacked up 30%? Maybe the state's got to actually get in the insurance business, but the state's going to have to start looking at some of these insurance companies saying, listen, we don't begrudge you making profit. We don't begrudge you making big profit. We begrudge you making buku profit. You're making billions and billions, and we're jacking up the rates on the government employees. We're jacking up the rates on everybody. That has to change. Those are things that have to be answered. And so as you're looking at casting your vote, again, You could be a good Democrat. You could be a good Republican. But what we need is a good governor. We need somebody who's going to make you a priority. You. How are we going to cut your bill? So don't go in there and just, oh, Democrat, got to vote Democrat, I got to vote Republican. Listen to what these people are going to do. How are they going to handle the school funding? How are they going to that's first off, I'd get away with the school district. I don't need 565 school districts. And that is the number. Think about it. There's more school districts than municipalities. I got 21 counties. We can have 21 school districts. Cut out a lot of salaries, pensions, vacations, all that. You're paying for that. That's got to be stopped. We've got to get a real handle on the funding here. Things have gotten out of hand. I'm sure there's a lot of money being misspent. You got to get answers to that. You got to get insurance answers. You got to get affordability answers out of these candidates. We can't go on the way it is. So pay attention, make an informed vote. Believe me, do not just vote Democrat or Republican. Make an informed decision. When you go in there to vote, you got to vote for your family. You got to vote for you. What one of these candidates are going to do the best for your family? How are they going to help you stretch your paycheck? How are they going to get more of your paycheck into your pocket? That's what's important here. That's the important thing. I've got a plane flying over here in Seaside Heights advertising something. I'm in the garage. I can't see it. I tell you, I was up on a boardwalk yesterday. You know, I'm getting up in years. I'm 68 years old now. Sitting in that sun, man, that thing take the energy out of you. You don't really feel it until you get off there. You pack up all your equipment, and you get back to the house, and it's like, wow, it just hits you at that one point. But I want to stress this as much as I can. Wear sunscreen. I should get that stuff out of the car and do promotions for it, because that stuff I got at ShopRite really did a good job. No sunburn on my face, neck, ears, and I was up there for a good 3 hours sitting there right in that sun. You know, we set the setup. We broadcast for a couple hours. Then we broke it all down. On the way back, my wife helped me. It was only me when I was setting it all up there and hosting the show. And we got to come up with, this week when I'm in the studio, we got to come up with a way of shading the electronics here so I can watch these gauges. But I couldn't do that. I could not see the laptop screen, and I could not see the gauges on the mixer. Yeah, I couldn't tell what commercials I was playing. I couldn't tell levels. It was just washed out from the sun. So we got to create some hoodies. I got some Gator board in the studio from an old set. Maybe I cut that. What is Gator board? It's like very light corrugated cardboard. Very light. It's got a foam filling into it. It's got good rigidity. It's got some strength to it, and I can glue it together with some Gorilla Glue. And we got to put some sort of shading over this, some hooding, so I can actually read these. Because yesterday, I was basically broadcasting blind. I could not make out any of these gauges. There's only so much you can do putting your hands over there. So that will work on during the week. Actually, we got a lot of work coming up this week. We're going to put the shelving in the control van that the kids are going to use. I teach high school and college kids. I'm going to try to get a key made, as I mentioned earlier in the show, $350 key. I do need a radio installed in the control van. My daughter's going to use a radio in HUD's, but her car's 25 years old, so you got 25 years out of a radio. I think that's pretty good. The kids will never ride in that van if there's no radio there. They'll just quit the program without some tunes, so we got to get that done. I want to get some more cameras, hopefully. I can get a couple of more streaming deals. I'll see what eBay's got. I'll see what Adorama's got. There was a place in Hillside, if I'm not so curious of how people operate, and there's a guy in Hillside Electronics Shop, and they're a good price on brand new cameras. And what I do, I first, if I don't know the place, I'm going to read the reviews, and I read the worst ones first. There were some gray market cameras. And at eBay, there was a good camera on sale, but it was from Japan. You know, it's not going to be an American camera, even though there are some similarities. I got about 3 more weeks before I need my complete set of new cameras. Push comes to shove, I'll just cry to B&H again. I've been dealing with B&H since we opened the studio back in 2000. Yeah, since we started doing video in 2000. Spent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. at B&H. Every camera I have, B&H. Every computer, all the mixes, all these microphones, this is all B&H. So when I call them up, they check my accounts. Yeah, he spent a lot of money with us over the last couple of decades. We'll listen to him cry, and we'll throw him a few bones here. Well, come on, guys. Yeah, now we've been dropping the not-for-profit. I started a not-for-profit for the high school and college kids. Oh, yeah, not-for-profit. We're trying to teach these kids, trying to show them a better way in life. Can you give me like $500 off that camera? Never get that $500, but they give me a good deal. And I tell you, they must have a great deal with UPS. I mean, I ordered it Tuesday, here on Wednesday. You know, you can't beat that. Even Amazon doesn't get it here that quick. So whatever B&H has going on. But if you need electrical items, music, computers, mixers, B&H is the place. And they stand behind their stuff. All the years I was dealing with B&H, I only had one issue, and it had to do with last year when we were setting up in a hiatus, putting together this radio network. We had an issue with some of our microphones with these cloud setters, and I was supposed to get these packages with the cloud, and the cloud didn't come, and they were telling me, "Oh, you looked at the wrong package." I said, "I looked at the wrong package," and it could have been a bait and switch. But as soon as I got to a supervisor, immediately it was handled. That was the only problem. And what is this? 2025 in 25 years that I've ever had with B&H. Any issue, like we have a problem with the piece of equipment we bought, take care of it immediately. No questions. If you want, you can just drive it over there. It's right on 9th Avenue. Just come out of the Lincoln Tunnel. And B&H is right there. You can drop it off, or you can just ship it over to them. Never an issue with B&H. So if you need a computer, you need microphones, you need switches, anything electronic, B&H is the place. We got about 7 minutes left to show. Let's recap. The thing with Putin and Trump, hopefully that's successful. Yeah, people are trying to throw daggers at Trump. If he can get peace there, it saves lives. Millions of people have died already with the war there in Russia and Ukraine. It's gone on 3 years, and unless Russia is going to start dropping the big stuff, and they're going nuclear, it's just going to continue to go on and on. Yeah, instead of giving weapons of war to Ukraine, Trump is selling them now, which makes sense. You know, we're paying for them, so we don't mind helping you out, but this is going on forever here, so you pay for the equipment. And he did a mineral deal with Ukraine, so we can do some mining there, maybe get some lithium, so we can build our own batteries for the electrical age that we're in. Actually, lithium is pretty scary. It's hard to put a fire out. It's one of the problems with the electrical cars. With these electric cars, these EVs, if they catch fire, it's almost impossible to put those things out. You're going to need some special stuff for that. These lithium batteries, you see with the e-bikes, I would, if I'm Jersey City, Seaside Heights, I would ban any charging of these e-bikes in a home or a garage, anywhere. Just got to be charged outside. If you're going to charge it, got to be charged outside. Even like your EVs, your EV cars, pull it out of the garage, charge it outside. Those damn things are dangerous. Those batteries. But it's amazing. Like you take the Canon batteries we use on our cameras, you can leave them in the charge forever. It'll just stop when it reaches this point, and you can grab the battery. It's not even hot. I don't know why you guys can't do that with the chargers for lithium batteries or e-bikes or electric cars. Maybe electric cars. You hear that them bursting in flames during the charge too. So I guess there's something to be said about that. But those are dangerous. But like I said, if I'm Jersey City, we should pass that tomorrow. No charging indoors. I don't care if it's a garage or a house. No charging indoors. Got to be charged outside. This way, if it catches on fire, it doesn't burn anything else. Again, like I said, Putin. Hopefully, these guys are successful. Avert that war. And it'd be amazing if Trump can do it. He's going to win a Nobel Prize. It would be amazing to see how the Democrats. Because for me, in Hudson County, we're in North Bergen, Jersey City, I'm in the land of Democrats. Then I come down here in Seaside Heights, Ocean County. I'm in the land of Republicans. I don't know if the Democrats could handle him winning a Nobel Prize. But let's finish on this with the Mandani guy in New York City, Democrat socialist. I don't know how any city or town could vote for a socialist in the United States. We're a capitalistic society here. It's what made us the greatest country on the planet. And the vote for socialist goes against everything that this country is built on. And it was amazing to see that people were lining up behind Mandani now. One of them is Barack Obama. If this is the direction of the Democratic Party, and again, I know Democrats from North Hudson there, from Jersey City, they're questioning which direction the Democratic Party is going. There is a serious problem with the Democrats. Things go back. Sometimes the Republicans win the election. Sometimes the Democrats win them. Christy Todd Whitman won. Chris Christie won. Corzine won. Of course, Murphy won. Blah, blah, blah. McGreevey won. It goes back and forth. Same thing with presidents. You had Bush. You got Obama. Then you had Trump. Then you had Biden. Now you got Trump again. It goes back and forth. The way the Democrats are setting up now, and how ridiculous they are. If you get behind Mandani, socialist, then you got some problem. Or you have an issue with fighting crime or upholding the laws of this nation, there's a problem with that party. They need new leadership. The days of Barack Obama and Bernie Sanders and Warren, that's gone. You need some new blood, but you need some American spirit blood in there. The spirit that made this country the greatest country it is. Don't try to rebuild it or change it or modify it. Just keep it on its course. Treat everybody the same. They say that tide raises all ships. Get the economy going. Treat everybody with respect. Give everybody the same opportunity to be the best they can in this country. That's all we should have to do. Respect the country, respect the Constitution, respect one another, and give everybody the opportunity. What you do with your opportunity is your own business. If you fail, fine. Get up. I failed twice. I got up off my ass and boom. I dusted myself off, and here we go. We go at it again. Most of your most successful people have failed in life. But this country gives you an opportunity to get up, dust yourself off, and do it again. That's why we're the greatest country in the world. All right, we're out of show. You be good. You be safe. Listen, it is a nice weekend this week. Get down here in Seaside Heights. Enjoy the beach and the boardwalk. Got a vacation? Got a week? Plan it strategically. Plan it to come down here. Again, Seaside Heights fits in anybody's budget. I'm Pat O'Melia. You're listening to The Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition here on GGR. Thank you, and good night. I'll talk to you later.